Hello, my name is Helen Campbell and I'm a retiree of the European Commission and SCIC, and I'm going to talk to you today about cosmopolitans. And I'm going to start now. Now, we interpreters are very used to travelling. Most of us have learned or perfected our foreign languages in the countries where those languages are spoken. Many of us also come from families with mixed nationalities. Typically here in Brussels, you might find a family with, say, an Italian father, a Swedish mother, and the children attend the European school, so they're mixing with other nationalities and speaking other languages, both at home and at school. So we are true cosmopolitans. Now, if you look up the word cosmopolitan, you will find several definitions. The first one is a cocktail. A cocktail made up of vodka, cranberry juice, Cointreau and lime juice. Quite a heady mixture. The second definition, a popular American magazine. And the third, the definition is including people from many different countries and cultures. Now, a city can become a cosmopolitan metropolis, like London or Brussels or, for example, New York. Now, I'm going to deal with the third definition that I mentioned, that is to say, people from different cultures and different countries. Now, a city can become a cosmopolitan city as a result, for example, of war or the collapse of the state, when people need to flee to safety and freedom. Examples include Syria, Venezuela, Afghanistan, and of course, more recently, Ukraine. In 2020, there were 82 million displaced people, according to the United Nations High Commission for Refugees. Only a few, some 250,000, actually returned home in 2020. Now, in most cases, a migrant family, at least the first generation, probably has a fairly hard time. That first generation is likely to be doing low-paid, badly paid jobs, suffer discrimination, and struggle to integrate and learn the language and the culture of the host country. In fact, many never even do integrate, but remain isolated in ghettos, away from those of the host country. Some, too, dream only of returning one day to their home country. But often, migrant families can and do blend in with the dominant native group that they're staying in, and they are accepted. I'm a good example, actually. I was born and educated and brought up in the UK, in England. Later, I moved to Germany, where I lived for 3 years, and then came to Belgium, where I've been for more than 30 years now. And I think I integrated well into all of those places. Now, there are some well-known cosmopolitans I could mention too. For instance, one Boris Johnson, currently the Prime Minister of the UK. Now, Boris has a very mixed heritage indeed. On his father's side, his great-grandfather was Turkish. There's also German blood and Russian. On his mother's side, his maternal great-grandmother was French, though that wasn't sufficient for the French to grant French citizenship to Boris's father Stanley, sorry to say. And back to my own example, my father was a Canadian of German and Scottish heritage. My mother a Scot who moved to England. So people often do become integrated, and they become cosmopolitans. For me, that means at least 3 different cultures and the mastery of the global language, which happens to be English. And finally, a little anecdote. I have a friend, a Lithuanian friend from Vilnius, who left Vilnius with his family after the collapse of the Soviet Union, and then came to Brussels with so many from Eastern and Central Europe in 2004. His children attended the European school, and he dreamt of all of them returning after a few years in Brussels to Vilnius. But it didn't work out like that. His children have gone to universities in different European countries, France, Germany, UK. They have partners of different nationalities, and it's unlikely that they will ever all want to return to Lithuania. In conclusion, it is said in the business world that cosmopolitans are good at creating novelty because they're used to being in different places where things are different. They travel and they have lots of global contacts. Good example of that is one Elon Musk, a Canadian raised in South Africa who went to the United States because great things are possible there. I think that sums up entirely the attitude of a cosmopolitan. Thank you.